Let's look at three things from dog culture: tasers, blame the owner, and canine dogs. So first we're going to look at tasers. And we have our video from Pitbull Attacks the Officer. And the conversation around tasers is pretty thick in here. Let's watch a short part of the video.
That snare. It's currently on top of a car in the middle of the road. Oh, why would I tase the dog? It's not doing that.
So the cop is like, why would I tase the dog? There's a woman kind of off screen over here telling him that the dog has been chasing people up and down the street. The dog is on top of a car in the middle of the street in front of a business. So there's a traffic issue, there's a public safety issue. But the cop is he's going to really be hesitant to use a taser. And there's other people in the video that say, don't use the taser.
It was chasing people down the street.
No, I'm not going to tase the dog. We have a snare catcher thing coming, so the dog's just up there right now. I'm not too worried.
No, she gave this dog like 6 Benadryls.
So, again, he says he's not going to use the taser. And that's completely fine if he makes the decision as a police officer that the taser isn't the best choice. I'm just showing you this to show you the general attitude. When there's a dog that's making humans unsafe, it's like they're really hesitant to use their guns or their taser. And part of the reason is it's not just because they're like quote unquote dog nutters. It's because the society that we live in will demonize them for protecting their fellow humans, even if it's a dangerous dog.
I can only imagine what she's done, so... Yeah, no, I'm just going to sit here and wait. I'm not going to do anything. It's her dog. It shouldn't be my problem.
See what he said right here? He's like, oh, it shouldn't be my problem. Well, it doesn't matter at this point. You've been dispatched for a dangerous animal that's biting people and chasing people. A dangerous animal that ends up biting a police officer down to the bone. It doesn't matter, whose problem it is. You're a police officer and your job is to protect the public safety. So this whole discussion around whose dog it is or whatever, it doesn't matter. If it was somebody's car on fire, people wouldn't stand around and say, well, we could call the fire department, but it's your car. But yet with a dog, it's like this whole thing about responsibility, it's constantly pushed around to some other supposed imaginary person, even when the dog is sitting there biting the citizens. So now I want to show you some more stuff about tasers. So this is from 5 years ago in National City. Let me show you the taser. So the police are here. They're using a dog to go look for some suspects or something. So watch what happens. Of course, there's a bunch of barking dogs in the background, right? So I'll fast forward a little bit. So I'm going to show you the police dog gets attacked by a gang. It looks like 2 Boston Terriers. I don't know if you saw that. This officer came up, quickly nailed that little mangy yapper for biting the K-9 officer. Boom, hits him, kicks him, tases him again. Gives him a good smack to the skull. So as you can see, using a taser to protect your canine cop is fine, but using a taser to protect your citizens isn't good. And I don't know if that's the attitude of all these police officers, but that's the general attitude of our society. So I'm just showing you this because look, the cops can use their taser effectively against a dog. This guy just proved it. Now have a look at this story. The cops are going to go look for a stabbing assailant. Isn't that weird? That's what dogs do every time they bite. They stab you. Have a look at this one.
of this. Come on.
Did you hear what he said? He didn't say wait for the grab pole. He didn't say throw some water on it. He didn't even say tase it. He said something else. So if a dog attacks the canine officer, yeah, they're going to fry it.
Camera. A police dog attacked in Anaheim. Officers were searching for a stabbing suspect when they saw a man run up to a house and jump through a window. When he finally agreed to come out, so did that large dog.
Yeah, so did the large dog. Man's best friend, all that stuff. And so there you go. I mean, using a taser to diffuse a situation, it works when the police dogs are in trouble. So that's kind of a little look at canine dogs and tasers. There's no really valid reason to argue in that story in Wisconsin that those cops couldn't have used their tasers on that pit bull. It probably would have saved a nasty, nasty wound in the arm of that one officer too. And it's a little bit more about K-9's. So we're over at the LaCross, Wisconsin web page. That's where the original pit bull attack happened. Well, they have a canine dog. Look at that. They got a brand new one now. And they also have a team of canines. So what do you think would have happened if that attack scene and the canine officer was there with his dog? I bet you they would have fried that pit bull. I bet you they would have probably used their handguns. I bet you would have heard that noise all throughout that video as they tried to save the canine officer. Because if one of these canine dogs, no matter how well trained, if the pit bull gets a hold of them at the right spot, the dog will be killed by the pit bull. So, another thing you might notice, do they ever use canine dogs to help diffuse these dog attacks? No, they don't. Because a pit bull will shred one of these police dogs. And they don't want to lose those dogs. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars on those dogs. Training and housing and food and the purchase of the dog. So now let's look at the pit bull culture part of this. In the video, after this dog attacks several people, one police officer at least, the lady right here in the red pants, she just kind of walks up and leashes the dog, and then it just pops into the freaking van. And so everybody's saying, like, that is the fulcrum of logic of she was just out of line for yelling and yelling and yelling for help from the police officers. Like, I understand the police officers should not have to deal with this dog because the dog just simply doesn't belong in society. This whole big argument over who's responsible, it doesn't matter at this point. If the woman is responsible, send her to court, send her to Child Protective Services, send her to the people that rent her the house where her property was ruined from the dog, and let her pay the price and learn a lesson, and let us see that as a society. But people don't do that. But the fact that she was able to leash the dog at this one moment in time, that doesn't mean she could have any other time. These dogs snap and go on rampages all the time. These dogs will be up on your couch and it's my pretty boy Blue, we had him for 8 years, and then the next day 2 toddlers are dead. So the argument against this woman that she was able to leash the dog at this point, that is just a completely empty argument. It's just a distraction. The whole thing is the dogs should not be in society in the first place. All of these people are tricked into owning these dogs. In Wisconsin, these type of attacks happen often. So if you're a police dispatcher, you know this. Why are the police dispatchers not given a place to speak and let these officers know that? So that these officers and this woman can make better decisions and not get these dogs in the first place and not incentivize all the local people to breed these dogs and sell them to women like this. The problem is way deeper than that woman can't control her dog at that moment. And here is my example from society about this. This is how pit bulls are marketed to women. Oh, it's just your little buddy right there in your kitchen. You just get yourself a little Pibbles and put it there with your kid because you're a strong, independent woman. Look at you. Oh yeah, you get a pit bull. Look at that. You're going to be tough. You're going to be hot and attractive. And these type of things happen all the time on Instagram and other more adult-related websites with these women and their dogs. And men will line up like simp guys sitting at home with their Kleenex and their freaking bottle of lotion. They will line up to give this woman attention, line up to give her heart likes and everything else because of this type of pit bull culture that our society pushes out. And so this lady here, that's the culture that was being shoved down her throat on a daily basis. She was very much brainwashed into getting that dog. You have to be brainwashed to get those stupid piece of garbage dogs anyways. And our society loves to pay attention to these women when they post up all their social media stuff with that dog. Oh, that's so precious. Oh, he's your boy. Oh, raise him up right. Oh, give him a raw meat diet. They love to be concerned about what this woman's up to with her dog. But when the dog freaking snaps like this, everybody wants to demonize this woman. That's another point that like people just don't get. Where are the feminists? Where are the strong independent women groups and stuff that will take this woman aside before she gets a pit bull and be like, look, you're being brainwashed. You got a ticking time bomb there. That information about pit bulls is easily available, yet we don't give it to these women. Instead, this is the type of crap that we push out for women. Oh, get this dog. He's going to be your couch hippo. Oh, hug him and kiss him. This is all the information that we put out there about pit bulls. So it's society's fault too. And again, yes, this woman should be brought up on charges for all the crap her dog did, but they should also make that public and make it stick, because they typically don't make it stick. All this fighting over whose dog it is, who's the owner, who's responsible, that's just a bunch of fighting inside of our society caused by this little piece of garbage right here. As a quick example of that, even though we as citizens sit there and clamor and blabber over it, blame the owner, blame the owner, blame the owner. The owner of 2 of those big nasty dogs killed this grandmother, and no charges were brought. So you want to sit there and say blame the owner, that's fine. Your lawmakers will let the owner go. So it's not about blaming the owner. It's about the lawmakers in society, the pit bull lobby, all of the governors and senators and mayors and police dispatchers that see this crap happen on a daily basis. They don't put the information out there for us to make a proper decision about owning pit bulls. So blame the owner. It's a waste of time. It's like a package that you buy at the store. It's all pretty on the outside. Oh, blame the owner, and all your problems will be fixed. When you open up this package that says blame the owner, it's freaking empty. So that has been our look at some things from dog culture. They all apply to this video. They're all being lived out in this video. The bystanders that demonize the woman, the cops that argue with the woman, the dog that attacks the police officers, the tasers that are refused to be used. Have a look at this video. Have a look at the ones that I'll post in the description, and tell me, what do you think about all this? Is the pit bull culture brainwashing people into getting them? Is the blame the owner argument really even worth our time? Thanks for watching. See you guys later.